Our webinar today will focus on benefits of customer service for business growth. Understanding the benefits of delivering excellent customer service is an important marketing strategy which allows businesses to distinguish themselves in a competitive playing field. This webinar will provide practical, useful information which can be employed to increase customer acquisition and retention, to also help you boost sales and establish a strong reputation. Now, our presenter today is no other than Loreen Friskie. I hope I'm pronouncing your name. My apologies. Loreen's journey into customer service started several decades ago, working in both the public and private sectors. As a lifelong learner, Loreen is always exploring new approaches to engage and excite staff so that they will be inspired to pass along to whomever they are serving. Educating and sharing her positive attitude towards customer service is a passion for Loreen, as she has spent many years working with new staff and students, providing them with solid skills to last for a lifetime. Always desiring to be the best version of herself, she works to give more than she takes and to be the good she wishes to see in the world. So I'm thinking that Loreen is therefore exemplifying good customer service. So do help me welcome our presenter today, Loreen, and she'll be taking us through the pace of benefits of customer service for business growth. Loreen, it's over to you.
Thank you, Tamika. Okay, let's get my screen shared here. And from the beginning. That's good, Tamika. You can see just my presentation? Or?
No, you do need to make the swap.
Ah, there it is. There we go. There.
Awesome.
Good. Well, thank you very much for that great introduction, and welcome everybody. This is the first of a many series of webinars and some terrific training that Tourism Saskatchewan has set up and is free for a limited time. So you'll want to get in on that. So investing in your customer service, the benefits, it's very important to invest in yourself and your business. So what are our learning outcomes for today? What is customer service? We'll go through a bit of that. Benefits of the customer service and some strategies to improve it. And, you know, there's always room for improvement, even when we provide really great service. And then some of the highlights, as we were talking about some of the great training that SAS Tourism has put in place. So what is customer service? Well, this is a great explanation of what it is, but really it's just about helping your clients and give them the best possible experience. And that way they'll want to come back and do it again and again. Without that great experience, you're just another place that they've stopped along the way. But you want to make it an experience that they really want to have again. So if you read this quote, it's a great quote and it's very true. You can have the best tasting product in town, but if it isn't accompanied by great service, it won't taste as good as it could. And then, you know, you might have a referral, something like this. These are the best muffins that I've ever had, but getting them was so painful, it wasn't even worth my effort or my sanity. And that's not something that you really want to have written about your business. You really want to have the experience well-rounded. You can have the best product, but if getting it is really tumultuous for the customer, they're going to maybe stay away from that and just take one with a little less quality just to have a little better experience. So why excellent customer service matters? Well, especially in these times of economic crunch, people need to feel that they are getting the best for their money. Times are getting tighter for others, so we want to make sure that we're making the experience so pleasurable that they want to spend their money there. The way you make the customer feel can set you apart from all your others. And this stat at the bottom, 46% walking away from a transaction, that's a pretty big percentage. And I can bet that there's probably a lot of people that won't return after that one bad experience. So if we do get them, because sometimes, it could just be that there was, say, a problem with the power or something that you really didn't have control over. So you want to make sure that if they do come back and you do get them back for the second time, you want to make sure that that experience is memorable to keep them coming back. So have you ever had that experience? Has it ever happened to you where you've gone in to purchase something and you're waiting in line and it's just not happening for you, and you're either on a short period of time or there's other places you can get it that might just be a quick run in and out? And so do you walk away and make that your experience for that location? That's making sure that you understand and making sure that you put yourself into your customer's shoes is one of the things that's really going to help you understand. They're the users. And so understanding the user's point of view is really quite important. So what about poor customer service? So here we're kind of looking for some of your thoughts. If you could, in the chat, put a few of the effects of poor customer service in there, and just take those minutes to think about an experience that you might have had and how did that make you feel. So we'll just give a couple of minutes for that. Losing customers, very good one. Losing customers, poor customer service. Do they want to come back? Maybe. As we were saying, they may want to come back and give it another try, but losing customers, especially if you have established customers, they could have been somebody that was coming in, those are really hard to get back. What other one do we have there?
We have reduced profit to business.
Reduced profit to business, absolutely. Losing those customers means that they are not coming in again. So what about bad reviews? Bad reviews is something else that in this day and age where a lot of people are deciding how they're going to spend their money, where they're going to go. They're looking for personal experiences by others, especially if it's friends of theirs or people they know, and people they know that have similar tastes of them. If they're not showing that they've had a positive experience, they're not coming, and they just won't even try it often for themselves. They'll want to just go by word of mouth. So what are some benefits of, So we will go now to the benefits of good customer service. And there are so many. So we're just going to discuss a few of them today. Customer loyalty and retention. Establishing a repeat customer base isn't easy. And I think any of you that are working in the tourism or hospitality industry, you realize that there's a lot of places people can go and spend their money. And so you want to make sure that those repeat customers you have coming in, giving them the extra. It's something that, to acknowledge them, to make them feel welcome, to know that they are acknowledged there. And You see them. Sometimes that's all it is. Regulars can keep your base profits coming in. They're really important, especially if you want to expand or look at different things that you can do. When you've developed that base, you can try new things. You can ask them. They're people that you trust because they keep coming back. How about, say we're like a bakery and all of a sudden we have a couple of new products that we want to test out. How about when they're there for getting their usuals or the regulars, how about you throw in something extra for them and you say, I would just like you to try this for me. And really, I want your feedback. Can you come back and let me know what you think of it? And that makes them feel like they're part of your business. And that's going to maintain that base, is going to help you move forward with your business. Because when you have those regulars coming in, then maybe you can use some of those dollars to expand, or maybe it's to purchase some new equipment or to upgrade some of your equipment. It's really important to have those loyal customers repeating and coming back. Makes your business look good too. When somebody comes in and says, oh, I saw these people going in there every day. Maybe I work down the street and I go, I don't know where they're going. They're going to the same place every day. Must be great. I got to try it. And one of the other really important things is making sure that people feel good about their purchase. It's like I said, money is a hot commodity, and we know that people are concerned. So they're going to want to make sure they're spending their dollars wisely. Increase profit. That gives you the funds needed to keep going. Sometimes it might mean hiring that extra person. It might mean extending your hours because you're missing a bit of the market share. So upselling is another really great way to have those people in there. That they're going to be looking for something new. They come in, they have the same donut all the time. They come in and they purchase the same products. When you've got something new in your store, try and sell it to them. Try and get them to experience something. Maybe it is having to give a bit of a discount. Maybe it is, just like I said, just that one where you want to give them something free. And it helps maintain your competitive advantage, right? It makes you stand out in the marketplace, and you want to get as much of that business as you can so that you can keep moving forward. All right. Builds business. Oops, I think I went too far there, right? Yeah, builds business reputation. Word of mouth marketing influences purchasing decisions. And we know that. It's that old tale, like they used to have the commercial, you tell two friends and so on and so forth. Your business reputation is very important. Where do you fit? Have you checked your reviews online? Have you made the effort to go in and see what people are saying about you? Have you made the effort when you notice somebody is saying something bad? Maybe you want to go in and you make contact with them and ask them to update their review if they can. It's people are willing to pay a little bit more for a proper, pleasant experience. We've gotten to a place where we often will have numerous different articles that might do pretty much the same thing. And sometimes it's the packaging, sometimes it's just the way that you're marketing it that draws attention to them. So you want to make sure that people are speaking positively about your business. So 49% of Canadians say they always tell other people about a negative experience. That's a lot. 38% say they'll tell about a positive one. And I think we kind of realize that in society as general, people are often willing to tell you about the bad sides of things. Don't go there, it's because of this. Not they maybe forgot about the 3 other great meals or great service that they got, but that one bad experience can eliminate a lot. So you want to make sure that you're really trying to keep your positively going and your brand's reputation. That is going to help accelerate you to the top of the pack. Provides valuable feedback and insights. You know, feedback is something that a lot of people try not to get, especially bad feedback. But for me personally, one of the things that I've always looked at with feedback is that it can be a very positive. Many times in our services or our businesses, we aren't the users. We are the ones that are trying to have people use or to build that base. So when somebody comes with you and they say that, you know, something isn't working properly, if you don't have people checking up on all of your equipment all the time, or walking the aisles of your store or the floors of your hotel, then you don't always see what's going on. Word of mouth and feedback from people is so very important to make sure things are running up to the standards that you want. So when somebody comes and they say something's broken, and let's say one of your employees go, yeah, it's been broken for a week already. I don't know when they're planning to change it. You know, you want to change that story, because when somebody walks out, they're going to say, it's like they don't care there. But you really want to change that story. You want to make sure that you're telling them, thank you for your feedback. I appreciate you letting us know. We are aware of the situation and we are rectifying it. But, you know, right now, it just seems that we're not able to get the parts that we need right at this moment, but we'll have it back up and running as quickly as we can. And sometimes that's all that is needed to give people the confidence that when they come back, those things are going to be improved. When you have people acknowledge that you know that there's that problem, then that helps the public know that you really are trying to fix it, that you're aware, and that you will do something about it. But the important part about that is the follow through. You want to make sure that when you acknowledge something, and sometimes it can be very simple as, say there's something that's broken, making sure that the signage is properly affixed to it, saying that, you know, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. This isn't available right now, but we're working on it. We're working to get it back up and running for your enjoyment for next visit. And, you know, always throw the positive towards things. Always play it up that you are going to be changing and fixing things because you want the experience to be the best that the customer can have. Enhances competitive advantage. The way you treat your customer is really what's going to set you apart from other businesses. There's a lot of competition out there. And so you want to make sure that people want to stop at your location. Maybe it means they have to drive a little further. Maybe it's a little bit out of their way, but I think, you know, sometimes people are willing to do that just for that little bit of extra something that you're willing to give them. Make sure that, you know, things are personal. You can make things personal for people, regardless of it's just a, you know, maybe you want to make sure that people are always acknowledged as soon as they walk in. Maybe it's nothing more than a smile, but knowing they come in. Or say you're a local pub, you know, maybe you want your employees to get to know some of the customers' names. You know, there's nothing, I mean, it's that old Cheers show advantage, right? Hey, as soon as you walk in the door, everybody goes, Norm, how you doing? But I mean, it makes people feel that they belong to something, and something that you have that they want to be a part of. And you want to make sure that they want to come back and be part of that again. What about if you're operating a franchise? One of the things about franchises is that you often aren't able to change or make many modifications. You often have to live and display certain things in the standards. So what is the one thing that can set you apart? I mean, if I keep driving and I know that the same business is going to be 10 blocks away from me and I can stop in there, and it might be more convenient for me, but I know if I stop into this store, they're going to greet me, they're going to make me feel good. Say it's a pet store, maybe I got my dog with me. They always like to give my dog a little extra treat. You know, just those little things that helps you elevate yourself to be just a little bit above the other ones. And that can help increase a customer for a lifelong. You know, you can have them coming back again and again. And sometimes, even if they move to another area of the city, they want to come back. What about smaller towns? You know, sometimes because of the locations where we might have our business, our price point might be a little bit above others. And so do you want people to stop in your town and say, you know, I'm okay with having to go to a larger center to purchase some of the things that I can't get here, but I love this store. I love the way they treat me here. I'm going to buy what I can here. And then some of the things I can't get, I'll make the trip and I'll find them when I get there. But I want to make sure that this store stays open, stays relevant. And I want to make sure that they're always here so that I can get the service I want, because sometimes it might mean I'm only coming in 10 minutes before the store closes, but I'm a good customer. I know they're going to give me that couple of extra minutes to get my purchase done. Those are just the little things. It's kind of like adding the pickles on the Thanksgiving supper table. You know, it's not necessary, but sometimes just that little bit of sour helps sweeten the rest of your meal. So that's the kind of things you want to do, just to get yourself elevated above your advantage. And boost employee morale. So employees and employee morale, and that for me, it resonates very strongly for me, because I really feel like sometimes it's your team that is going to make your business, because you want to have people working for you that enjoy where they are. And the more that they enjoy where they are, the more that enjoyment is going to spill over to your customers. If your business runs smoothly inside, it'll show on the quality of the service that's provided. You want to make sure that you are setting the example, whether it's you as an owner, the manager, or some of your senior staff. You want them to be the example, to set the example. You need to show a positive attitude towards your customers. It's not, oh, another day, you know, here they come again. We're going to get those people back. It's like, come on, we got people coming. We're going to make them smile. You know, you got that one grumpy guy that always comes in. How about you make it a little bit of a competition between your staff to see who can make him smile? Did that once when we were younger and working at one of our facilities. You know, we had a fellow that came in and we'd always tease him because, you know, it was a golf course. Thought you're supposed to be happy when you're on the golf course. You know, how those little things, we always worked a little bit extra hard to see if we could get him to smile or to acknowledge us, because that just wasn't his style. And you know what? That's okay. But acknowledge that, you know, it's okay. So I know when I would just acknowledge his behavior and say, I'm going to say good morning to you, even though I know you're not going to say it back. Then he would look at me and he would have that little smile in his eyes, but he wouldn't smile to me. But I knew that I was making an impact with him. And I knew that when next time he came in, he might be, you know, maybe he's having a bad game, but that's not going to necessarily stop them from taking it out on us. So those are some of the things that you can do with that. You don't want to have tension in the back of the house and expect it not to filter through to the front. When there's turmoil in the back and, you know, trouble is happening and people aren't getting along, it's hard to drop that face to put on the smile to present to that customer. So you really want to have a great place. You want people to take pride in their workplace. You want to make them feel good about the place they work, about the way they are, give them the confidence they need. And the more you invest in your employees, the more retention that you can have, because it's known now that, you know, the new generation is a little bit different than some of the older generation was, in the sense of what they want. Often, you know, we go to work every day, you stay in the job. A lot of the younger people, they want it to mean something. It's not just a job to make money. They want it to mean something. Maybe your store aligns with their values. And we'll talk a little later about values again a little further, but you know, if people are wanting, if they're recyclers, they're not going to want to frequent a place that maybe isn't going to be feeling part of those same values. So it's important to make sure your staff are positive and feeling good about their fun, humor. You know, maybe it's little things like acknowledging their birthdays. You know, maybe it's nothing more than a cupcake with a cat, but everybody takes the time to acknowledge it. That's going to make them feel good about coming to work. And those are really important things. Making sure that they want to come to work is really good. You know, the other thing that, excuse me, the other thing that you want is you want your employees are an extension of you and your business. So they need to feel really good about what they're offering, because the more they enjoy it, the more they is. And so a lot of places will do things like, we have a testing day. Let's have a testing day. We're going to open up a new menu items. So I want all the staff to come in. We're going to have a testing day. Everybody gets to taste it. Everybody gets to know what it is. That way they're able to sell or upsell. You know, I had the steak sandwich is really good, but I'll tell you, when you add the mushrooms, takes it over the top. You know, those are the kinds of things that you really want to have your people telling about your product. You know, internal relationships are very important. And, you know, the other thing is customers. We talk about customers. Customers aren't always external. They're internal also. So let's say you work for a chain. Let's say it's a hotel chain. And so you want to be the best in the chain. But, you know, you are dealing with head office. You're dealing with central things. There's often a lot of how central treats your employees is important, because if they aren't getting respect when they're dealing with their internal customers, how are they going to want to have respect for your customers? You give what you get and what you take. It's that same old advantage, right? You know, sometimes we have, let's say if we're talking about, say it's outfitting, and, you know, I know that your season, let's say you're doing spring, summer outfitting, or, you know, the whole hunting season starts in the spring and it'll go all the way till Christmas almost. So, but really it's January and February where you're getting your bookings. You need to make sure you have somebody that's on the line when they're talking to them, that's going to promote all the things you have, not just someone to take the message. Okay, you want to do this? Boo, 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 boo. You make sure that they know your product so that they're able to upsell it. That's a really great experience. Have you ever tried this one? Have you ever gone for this type of animal? No? Oh, I did. It was so much fun. And if you've done this one a few times, you might want to look into doing some of our other ones. You have to make sure your employees are presenting your business the best way that they can. So employees are so important. You want to make sure that they have strong teamwork, productivity. You want to make sure that they have each other's backs. I one of the things that I've always enjoyed with working, especially I like to pair a senior employee with a junior employee, so that when somebody you want people, I expect people really want to do their best. So they're giving it all, but there's a few things that maybe they're forgetting, or a few things that you could add. Just giving them that little extra knowledge of coming in and saying, "Oh, did you tell them about this? Oh, I forgot. That is such a great experience that we have. You are going to want to try that." So make sure that your team works together so that they are able to help each other. You don't want to make it too competitive so that they aren't, trying to outbid each other. But you want to make sure that your customers are feeling how much your employees enjoy working there. So how's everybody doing? Is everybody getting some good tidbits off of this? I'm trying not to talk too fast, but I want to make sure that I cover everything. So retaining customers is easier than, retaining employees is easier than trying to train new ones all the time. And so, making sure that you are making your employees feel they are doing great. Recognition, acknowledgement. It's the littlest things. When you see them do really well with a customer, tell them. Make sure you're giving them that little bit of info that's going to make them feel like they can do better and do more, make them want to do more. That's some of the things that really helps with employees. We do a lot of training. We've got a lot of occupational health and safety training that has to go in. You want to, the longer you can keep your employee, the less time that's spent retraining and retraining, and the more that you can help them advance through the organization also. Helping employees recognize that being a good customer service person it's a strong and very valuable asset to not only them, but to your business. But it's important for them to feel they're doing a good job. The longer that you make them feel good, they might take they might have a job where there's a little more money, or it might be a little better hours, but I sure love working here. Every time I come in, it's always smiling faces. Sometimes there's a little treat waiting for me at my location. Just the littlest things can often help keep an employee, and retention is important. Improve service recovery. So difficult situations, they happen. They're bound to happen. It could be your equipment failure, could be a double booking, could be a staff mistake. We're all human. It happens. But the way you handle these situations is really what's going to keep them coming back, and is going to keep that negative comment, that negativity away. You want your customer to walk away satisfied, not angry. And satisfied doesn't necessarily mean that they are getting what they wanted. Because often we can't always give the customer what they want, but making sure that they understand, making sure that they feel heard, those are some of the most important things when it comes to a bad situation. You know, if it comes and they go, this, blah, 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 say something negative, and you just go, well, you're not the first person to tell me that. That's not going to make them feel any better. Really, what you want to do is make sure that when you're talking to them and you want to de-escalate it, acknowledge them. Make sure you hear them. Make sure they know that they're being heard. Identify an issue, and make sure that you acknowledge and thank them for that, because it's, you know, especially even if it's something that you've already heard, if it's something that you didn't know was a problem, then for sure you want to say, thank you very much. That's so great to know. I appreciate you letting us know. But even if it's something that you know is an issue and has been for a couple of days, making sure to thank them for still letting you know is important, because it's that old scenario where the bystander effect, you know, when they talk about people seeing something happening and everybody else thinking somebody else is going to call 911. It's sort of the same thing. You want to make sure, it doesn't matter if it's been the 10th time, the 100th time you've heard it that day. Thank you very much. I appreciate your feedback. It's good to know that our customers are willing to share the negative with us, because that's how we're going to make changes to make improvements also. Of course, there will be times you can't give them what they want. We know that. But do your staff know your business policies also? Those are important things. You know, the more your staff know, the more that they're going to be able to help pass the messages along. You know, do they know how far they can go to recover a bad situation? Do they know if it's okay to have a free cup of coffee? Do they know it's okay to knock 10% off a purchase? And if that's not your business and you're not willing to allow your staff, then make sure you have something in place that will help alleviate your employee from taking the brunt of the situation. Maybe it's, you know, I can't help you with that, but my manager is more than willing to talk about this with you, and they'll be able to see if there's anything that we can offer you. So it's not totally a no. It's an opportunity to say there might be something. And you know what? You may have people that don't even want to talk to the manager. Just knowing that there was an opportunity. For some people, it could be like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal that I need to take it further. But knowing that you've heard me, knowing that you recognize it, and knowing that something may be done about it, sometimes is all a person needs. So, ways to improve your customer service. I'll tell you, I sometimes get very frustrated when I go out to places. And one of the things that I've said to some of my friends is, when has bad service become the norm that I get more excited when I get what I ordered than when I don't anymore? And I don't like that. And, you know, and it becomes the thing, it goes right back to the stats, right? Where people get a bad service or a bad product, they may not even just come back. They may not tell you. They may not do anything. And so you can have a really good run because, let's say you're brand new and you think business is great, but then it tapers off. Do you know why? Have you been researching your business online? Have you been looking at your footprint to see what people are saying about it, how ways that you can improve it? Sometimes having the best product, as we were just acknowledging, doesn't mean you're going to have the repeat customers, because even though it's not as good as the other ones, it's not a hassle to get. It's like I said about the muffins. It's quick, it's easy. They're not the best, but I didn't have the time to spend to get what I really wanted. And that's not how you want to be known in your business. So really, one of the best strategies, employ active listening and empathy, as I was saying before. Genuinely listening and hearing your customers, provide them with a genuine response. It's sometimes some of the best conversations I've had is when an employee or when a customer comes up and says, if you had this here, that'd be really great. And I go, yeah, it would be, but how is that going to work for everybody else? Like, it might be really good for you, but is it going to work for somebody else? And then, you put yourself in their shoes and see, is that something that would really work for a lot of people? Maybe it's something like the empathy. Maybe it's really having a good hard look at your business. Am I friendly for people with mobility challenges? Can you get around? Have I left enough space for people? Sometimes it's those little things like that can make a place the next go-to place for some people. Because if they go in there once and they have a walker and it's hard to get around the tables, they keep bumping everything. So you know your audience. Make sure you get to know your customer and look at things from different perspectives. One of the things that I had heard about a workplace doing that I thought was a really great way to try and understand their customers was they rented 3 or 4 wheelchairs and took it and had people go around their business to see how easy it was to navigate. And so understanding, so if you know that your business is a little harder to get through and you see somebody struggling, maybe it's just having your employee do that little extra effort to go and help them, move a couple things out of the way, or know that they're going to have challenge. We're just going to help. Let's just move this out of the way. I can move it back after. Don't worry about it. Giving that little bit of extra to your customers, like I said, can make all the difference. Maybe you say to them, next time you come in, make sure that somebody who comes with you, make sure you let us know that you're coming so then I can help move those few things out of the way. We put them there because, that's about the only place we have to keep them. But for the time that you're going to be here, I can move those out of the way. Those little things sometimes can really make a huge difference. They want to be known that they're heard and seen. That's what a customer wants. Empowering staff through clear service standards. Okay, service standards. Do you have them? Do you know what they are? Some places do, some places don't. But, making sure that there is clear understanding of expectations to your employees. Do they know what they're supposed to do in their downtime? Is it, do they know that there's things that they have to do at a certain time? There can be a list of things they have to do. But if your employee is sweeping the floor as soon as they start their shift, is that the best time to do it? And then nobody does it at the end of the day? All those kinds of things. They give your employees the confidence that they need to know that they know and understand exactly what's expected of them, the time frames, and it also gives you as a manager or as an owner confidence to know that I've laid out everything pretty good. I don't think there's many questions that my staff should have. And then knowing that they know where to find the answers is also very important. Do you have a value statement? Value statements can really make a difference in a lot of businesses, especially if you're a business who is decided to use always paper bags, to be sustainable, to just take it to that little extra. When businesses know, if that aligns with my values, then I know that I'm it's going to cost me a little bit more, but I'm okay with that because I don't want to see all that waste. I want to know where I'm spending my dollars is contributing to my values also. And as we said, with the economy the way it is, people, and I mean, there's so many things out there that have people concerned. And whether you believe in them or not is not that it doesn't matter. It's what your customer believes. So if your customer feels like you are not living up to their standards, hey, that's okay if you've got a great customer base and if you know that it's resonating with many people. But if what you're trying to do isn't going to resonate with a lot of people, there might be a chance where you need to reevaluate some of those things. But do your staff knows what your business values are? We are finding that a lot of staff now, a lot of employees, they want to align with the business values. If it's not something they believe in, that's not where they want to work, regardless of the money. And that's fine, because I think that everybody will have people that resonate with their values. It's just making sure up front, you don't want to spend a lot of time and effort training someone and then have them go, oh, you guys sell meat here? I'm vegan. I mean, it's a little thing, but sometimes making sure that they always are understanding everything about your business. They want to, people and employees want to contribute in the best way they can, and they want to contribute to places that believe in the same values of them. I know the market for workers can be slim. It's sometimes finding employees with the right attitude can be hard, but attitude and understanding business are things I believe really can be taught. Sure, might take a little extra time and a little extra training, but the thing is, when you are investing in your employees and your employees know that, they're willing to stay, because I know that my boss, when we change direction, he's going to make sure that I understand the direction that we're going. Maybe it's going to mean I'm going to get some new training that is going to be valuable to me in my life, regardless of what I do. But, the one thing that I want to reiterate to people is you want to make sure your employees know there's a place for them. Don't always presume that your employees are going to want to find a different place to work. Some people are really good at serving, and some people love to serve, and they want to serve for their whole career. So making sure that you can invest in them, little things, like I said, sometimes it's not a huge thing, but it's the little things. You want to make your employees feel good about coming to work. I don't believe people go to a job to do a bad job. I think that they really want to do good. And I think that sometimes if we can't presume things are, common sense, that things should just be understood. We have people coming with all kinds of different backgrounds, coming, with different expectations. So what are the business's expectations? What are the business's values? The other thing is making sure, do your customers know what your values are? Because you want to make sure that they can align to them also. If you show an employee that you care about them, they want to succeed, and they'll be loyal to your business, to the point that you have to remember, even if an employee is no longer working for them, you would still like them to be an advocate for your business. You want them to keep coming back to your business also. This is not always saying they're going to go to a business that's similar. They're going to go somewhere else, and then they still want you. You want to maintain that, and you really want to make sure that I think employee training is one of the best things that you can do for your business, for sure. Well, Tamika, how much time are we at here? Oh, can't hear you. Sorry.
You only have 6 minutes left. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm going to tell a little quick story. And it's just it's about my daughter and the job that she has. My daughter lives in Toronto. And one of the places that she works at is it's basically an ice cream shop. Sure, it's a little bit of a higher end. They sell custard-based ice cream. A lot of it's hand turned, it's hand mixed. It's labor intensive also. But one of the things about where she works is amazing. She, they're in the wintertime, they are closed for an extra day. But her boss put them on salary so they can still maintain that wage throughout the year. And that just allows them, the opportunity to stay, because we know that sometimes times are hard. I can't lose a day of pay. This way they didn't have to. She had good staff. She spent a lot of time training them. She has them bought into the brand. They get benefits. They go on teamwork building exercises. They go on little excursions, couple of day team builders. I know it's not something that everybody can do, but I just, when I talk to people and I tell people that where my daughter works, and, as a parent, sometimes we'll see this, and unfortunately, many people see hospitality jobs as not lifelong careers. But that's very unfortunate, because I've done my career and I've taken my role and I've gotten into places where I am, where I am not serving customers. I am in the back. I'm in management. I'm the one that's hearing all the complaints. I'll tell you what I miss the most: putting smiles on customers' faces. And I'll tell you, that's where I want to go back. I've done that. And that is the one thing that I missed the most. So what I had to do as a manager, when I was, of course, dealing with the grumpy people, was I had to move that to my staff. So I was the one that was always making sure I was acknowledging them, making them feel good. Because the better they felt about things, the better they felt about our business, the better they felt about everything. Guess what? The less complaints I started to hear. So it was just a shift in mindset. Instead of staying in the mindset of I'm going to have the complaints, it's more about being the mindset to help my staff be the best they can be, so that I hear less mistakes and I hear less complaints. So, making sure that your staff are valued and giving them the best opportunity to present the best face to your business is what I think is really important. And so that's where Tamika, I think, would like to discuss the Service Best training. It's free. Did I add that it's free for a limited time? And I think it's great. And having some of your employees, giving them the time to investing in them and themselves is very important. So Tamika, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Lorraine. And we just want to let you know that after we have completed the webinar this afternoon, there is a short survey that you will see appear on your browser at the end of the webinar today. And we're just going to be asking you to answer the survey. It will take no longer than 4 minutes, because this will provide us with feedback, as Lorraine has spoken about. And this will help us for future planning. We want to hear from you. What is it that you want to hear, or what kind of training are you interested in? And so please do fill this out. And in case you have any questions for Tourism Saskatchewan, the Workforce Development Team, please feel free to contact us at training@tourismsask.com. Again, thank you so much for joining, and we will see you next time for our web series. Thank you again. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.